Hello and welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to be taking another look at the water mixable oil paints today. The ones I'm using are the Winsor and Newton Artisan oils, but you can get them in different brands as well. So to begin with, I've got an oil paper, and on that I've put a thin layer of yellow ochre and I've allowed that to dry. So I did that the day before and then allowed it to dry. So you'll see there's a little bit of a sheen because obviously they take a long time to dry completely, so it's just touch dry really, still a bit tacky. So I've speeded this video up ×3. The whole thing actually took me about half an hour to do. So it was all working wet into wet, some colour mixing on the paper and some colour mixing on the palette, for which I'm just using a plate actually. And I didn't use too many colours. I've listed all the colours on the video. So if you don't quite catch them as they come up on the screen, if you just press pause, you'll see all the colours listed there. So basically it was a picture from, let me think, it was from Mixable, and I'll pop that picture on the video somewhere for you to see, and I'll put a link in the description below to the photograph that I used on Mixable so that you can use the same reference photo if you like. And it would also be nice to actually have a go another day with the same photograph, doing it in watercolour or Inktense or a different medium as well, to see how we're going with a different medium. Now do bear in mind that when I'm doing it, like I say, it took me half an hour. I'm doing it very quickly because time's limited to me for how long I want to spend doing, the videoing and the demonstrations. Obviously when I'm doing my own work I would spend a lot more time on it, and hopefully you will have more time to spend on it yourself and really think about which colours you're using and blending on the paper. Now you'll see that the ground, when we refer to, the word ground I should explain, is the colour, the base colour of the yellow ochre. We call that a ground. So the ground, I do allow that to shine through, because if you look up in the sky you'll see that the colours, they're coming, although we've got cloud there, we've still got the yellow behind shining through of the sunshine. So it's, it's a very atmospheric little picture, and if you look at the picture on Mixable, you'll see to the left hand side of the painting, of the photograph rather, the clouds are very hazy and misty, and it's quite a difficult thing to get. So how I achieved that was, like I say, it was all wet on wet. I didn't allow this painting to dry at all whilst I was doing it. It's going to take several weeks to dry, in fact, and I just with a dry brush dragged some of that colour across to make that mist. Now if you prefer, another way of doing it would be to allow your first layers of paint to dry completely and then put a layer of mist over the top. Now as we go on through the painting you'll see that I blend quite a lot with a dry brush. So I apply the colour with one brush and then I use another brush to blend it on the paper. Now your blending brush needs to be soft and it needs to be nice and dry and clean. So although you can't see it on the video, I have a cloth in my left hand, and you'll see my hand when I'm blending, my right hand, you'll see it moving off the video quite often. Every time I'm doing that, what I'm doing is wiping that brush clean on that rag that I've got in my left hand, so that I'm not moving colours from one area of the painting to another as I'm going along. So I've not really used much medium or any thinner in this. I used a little bit of linseed oil in places just to make the paint flow a bit more, but a lot of the time it's just put on completely neat from the tube. Don't use water to mix with your water mixable oils. They're called water mixable because we can clean them in water. We don't need solvents to clean our brushes. They will rinse out nicely in water, but we don't use water really as a medium for mixing. You can do if you like. I sometimes do use that for a ground because it dries a little bit more quickly, but it tends to flatten your colours. If you want the colours to be nice and vibrant, use something like a linseed oil to mix, not water. Okay, so I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've forgotten to tell you. I don't think there is at the minute. Yeah, that's about it. So like I say, some mixing on the palette, some on the paper, and keeping it all wet. But like I say, if you want to leave it to dry in between and build it up, then that's fine as well. But it does take several weeks to dry. So this is a misconception with the water mixable oils, that they dry quickly like acrylics. They don't. They've still got oil in them and they're still going to take a long time to dry. Okay, so enjoy the rest of the video. I hope you enjoy having a go at this picture. If you want to go to the link on Pixabay, because it's a lovely little picture to have a go at with that nice little boat. The boat itself at the end, you'll see I did very sort of impressionistic. I hardly did any drawing for that at all. I just used the edge of my brush and I just used the colours that were left on the plate at the end there. Okay, so thank you very much for watching, and any comments if you want to put them down below, and I hope to see you all again soon. Bye for now.